Okay, so that didn't work. As soon as I unplugged it, it stopped my live. So let me know when you're back. While I wait, I will cut this. It was, what was it? 2.5 by 4. I want more of this paper. So there was no mincing words with that question, was there? It was, what about your phone? Nope. Fine, be like that. I feel... Hi, Linda. Oh, poop. No sound. Let me know, because it might have just been because I took that out for a second. Do we have sound? Okay. Are we working? Okay, good. Good. I will mute that so that we don't get the feedback. So before you got here, I was saying, well, that didn't mince any words, did it? Like, oh, well, what about your iPhone? And as soon as I unplugged this, it was like, nope, you're done. So that's the answer to that. Next week, I will have a proper microphone and all should be good. One of these weeks, this is going to be just perfect and you're not going to know what hit you. It's going to be like, about time. I seriously do not have enough of this paper. I don't have enough of anything to be able to finish anything. So we are going to bring in, awkwardly, the, boy, this being wired sucks when you're used to being free to roam. I think we'll use some of that. We're going to have to use some of that, although there's no green in there. I think it's weird that there's no leaves. In case you're wondering why I have none of this paper, it's because of that swap. Okay, so what do you think? I don't think we can use the gingham one because it's too different. We could put the leaves on there. Let's do it like this. I'm a mess. So we need basic white on the outside, and then we need another bit of DSP on the inside. That might be a good spot for that one to go. So let's do that. This one, let's do this here and that there. Or that there. Oh, I don't know. Okay, so let's do this one here. 3 3/4 by 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. Let's bring out the guillotine for that. 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. I almost cut it the wrong way. Hello, everybody. You like the leaves on the front? Ruh-roh. Well, we could put leaves in 2 different places. Now that I've cut it, well, there's no wrong way, but it is the wrong size. Ha ha ha. Okay, let's lay it out. I'm a train wreck. This one was 2 1/2 by 4. So we're going to cut another one of those. And I think we should put a bumblebee on here because I got the bumblebee trinkets and I haven't used them yet. And if you haven't seen them up close, oh my goodness, they are stunning in person. The catalog does them no justice. Okay, what do you think? The big pansies on the inside or the outside? Or the leaves on... Because I mean, no, that one won't be the right width. I feel like those are too big to be together. What am I doing? That doesn't go there. It goes here. Train wreck, I'm telling you. I think we'll do the large pansies on the inside because we're going to have a pansy here. We'll have our sentiment here. Yep, let's do it. Okay, so then the only thing that's left, I'm going to adhere these now before I forget what's going where. My son and I went to Dollarama at lunch and we saw the cutest little Dory toy. I didn't get it. It was a little expensive for Dollarama. I'm like, who do you guys think you are? You're Dollarama. It's kind of like, if you live in Canada, you'll understand what I'm talking about. But if you go to Superstore and buy Joe Fresh clothing, it's like, guys, like I know this guy's a designer, but Joe Fresh, you are in Superstore, my friend. It's a little too expensive. Oh yes, inside. Inside! So, funny story. Last night we had a Zoom meeting for our union. We're coming up into negotiations. And you know how we're just all zoomed out, right? This meeting went on for 2.5 hours, and this is after work. This is after you've put in a full day. So I was talking about something. Okay, we need 2 pieces of basic white that are 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, right? Yep. So it's after a very long day already. I don't know how we ever survived with wires before. This is awful. Okay, so it's after a long day. I'm bringing up a point and I'm talking and I see someone roll their eyes and no filter. I mean, we've been by ourselves now for what, 16 months? I finish my statement and I'm like, I can see you rolling your eyes. And then I'm like, oh shoot. Why did I just say that? Like the 20 people that are on this call, they don't know who I just said that to. I do. And like, come on, dude. And I mean that as a girl or a guy. Like, you're on a call. Keep it together. You can't use your outside voice. If you want to roll your eyes, then turn your camera off. So... But I'm like, why? Why did I just say that out loud? Thank you, Gail. You like the flowers on front. Well, we've got, oh, you know what else we could try on here is the little flourishes. I got those as well. So if you participated in my online class a few months ago with that advent calendar, I don't know if I actually ever did a class, but I can't reach it, as you know. I created these little labels that have an image, half an image of the embellishment itself. I can't reach anything. So it's got a picture of the embellishment and it's got the name on it. And for the people that purchased that class, they got... I printed them and punched them and did whatever, and there's Velcro on the back, so it's not like once something retires, it's just stuck on there forever, or you have to build yourself a new drawer. So I was going out and taking my stuff that's retiring as of tonight out, and I have to update it. So for those of you that purchased that class, you will be getting an updated document with those new embellishments. So heart charms, ladybug trinkets, clever clasps. Can't remember what else I took out of there. Oh, the ice cream sprinkles, and I had like maybe 10 sprinkles left. But those are all retiring. Don't miss out. I do like it like that. Okay, so we are going to put a nice little sentiment on the inside. We will put our flower on the outside. And you might be thinking that I die cut those in polished pink, but I actually did them in basic white and then used a sponge dauber to ink them up, because I was doing 21 cards and I ended up doing 3 different colors. I did pale papaya, fresh freesia, and polished pink. I thought a green pansy? No. But I did use soft succulent on here and then evening evergreen ink. So I've got the bundle right here, and I think they will all fit in my baby boss. So let's do it. We are going to cut. Now, every time I have seen someone do the pansy, they do 2 of these. Well, that's the correct way to do it. I actually prefer it with just 1. I feel like it's a little too full, and maybe that's just the way my pansies have grown. They're like, oh, you're lucky we're even still alive. So you only get 1 petal, lady. So I'm using those 2 pieces. I'm using this middle piece, and then we'll pull out this little stem. Can you believe how long this 1 card is taking? Probably because I'm so chatty and connected to this thing. So we'll do 2 leaves as well. There are so many dies in here, but they are great little builder dies. Is that what I want? I think so. Is that it? I think that's it. So, oh, my baby boss is up there. My full-size one is right here, and I can almost reach it. This is so awkward. If this is your first time joining me, it's not usually this awkward. I mean, I've had tech issues for the last, I don't know how many months, trying out new software and new internet and just new, all these issues. But I am connected, like I'm actually plugged in. My internet is hardwired. So I know Diane was watching happy anniversary. I don't know whose it is, but happy anniversary. Oh man, I really am Dory. So I'm actually like hardwired, so I can't move the way I normally would. And I think I've taken for granted how much I can easily move around. So you're probably thinking, why on earth are you doing these all on white? Well, partly because that's how I did that card, and partly because I can't reach any other colors. Actually, let's do the leaves in soft succulent because I don't want to blend that much. Let's be a little bit lazy. One more leaf. I feel like that's not right. Is that right? I don't know. It's been a long day. A long week. Do you ever notice that the short weeks always end up feeling like the longest? Like for those of you in the US, you get the 4th off. So tomorrow is July 1st, which is Canada Day, which if you've been following our news is, it's a struggle this year with all of these unmarked graves from residential school students. It's feeling like a challenge to want to celebrate Canada right now. It's just so wrong. Thank you, Pam. I'm sorry for the camera shake. At this point in the game, I'm sure you're used to everything that can go wrong will with me. It's Murphy's Law stamping. Okay, so let's move this out. Getting tangled in the cord. I'm just going to put it on the floor for now. Everything I'm doing is so awkward. So I chowed down a burger before I went live. Dave was barbecuing burgers and steak because he went grocery shopping the other day and realized that all of this meat is going to go bad. So he's like, well, better cook it. And we were actually going to do hamburgers on Sunday night, but he really cut his hand good. So we ended up making chicken. He needs stitches, but he's being a donkey and won't go. He's keeping it clean and whatever. I feel like I was going to say, I'm like, I feel like I'm missing a leaf. This is not the right one. It should be this one. It was stuck to the stamp. You know, for something that was supposed to be a quick live, because I'm tired, like I always am on Wednesdays, this is not going so quickly. I almost put that in the thing instead of the die. Duh. Okay, dokie. So I realized today that with it being June 30th and tomorrow being July 1st, it's actually the deadline for the Blends Club, and Tiffany and I haven't even shown a picture of what we've done. If I'm being honest, I haven't even designed it yet, but it is using the Measure of Love stamp set, which in my honest opinion really should have come with dies. Anything that cute should come with dies, always. I feel like every animal stamp set we get should automatically come with dies. I've done some cute things already. I showed my online class for the Measure of Love, and one of my ladies said, make sure you save some stuff for creativity or for Blends Club. Don't use up all your good ideas. So he cut his ring finger with a spatula, and I mean, he cut it deep. Like when I saw it the next day, because of course he's like, I'm fine. It's deep. Like he opened it like it's a present. He unwrapped it from the paper towel and electrical tape that he had as a Band-Aid, and it just started bleeding instantly. I'm like, oh, for crying out loud, like you need stitches. And oh poop, I don't have a thing, sponge dauber. Okay, so we are going to ink it up. We want dark around the edges. So he was trying to get these frozen burgers apart, and the spatula slipped and got him good. So it is pretty deep. He said, like, I think I got myself to the bone here. But he's being such a donkey is the best word, because he's being stubborn. And of course I keep asking. He's like, oh, I don't know why everyone's so worried. I'm like, because you need stitches. This thing isn't just going to close on its own. So he's still using electrical tape, but at least he has gauze on it now, not paper towel. It wasn't like gushing, but no, he didn't. Still doesn't. Now he said, well, it's too late. Oh, for crying out loud. So, I've lost it again. I have been reading that this significant memory loss can also be due to perimenopause. I'm in for a rough ride, I think. Okay, so when you're doing this, you can add as much or as little ink as you want. If you want it to be super dark like that, then just keep layering it up. I realize I'm kind of low here. And I like to keep it where it's just dark on the outside. And you can see I'm just kind of using my tweezers to move it around because I don't want pink fingies. I swear to you, I'm never going to be the same after TikTok, but as much as people say it's for young kids, like teenagers or whatever, I just want to put it out there. I know. So he asked me for hydrogen peroxide, which I don't have. I'm like, I have rubbing alcohol, like from the blends technique, and the spritzers that we had. He poured rubbing alcohol on it and started laughing, and I think because if he didn't laugh, he was going to cry. For this part, I'm actually just going to color it. I don't remember what I used there. But I think I actually cut that out of Mary Merlot cardstock, but we're going to color it with Cherry Cobbler, which you're probably thinking, Cherry Cobbler and polished pink, but I did want it to be quite dark. So yeah, he has disinfected it. Oh God, it's awful, Roz. Awful. Yeah, I'm never going to be the same. I'm like 10-second Tom. Now I don't remember what I was talking about before. Okay, so I'm going to take my evening evergreen and do the same thing with my foliage, but I'm going to use a very light hand. If you want to give it a heavy hand, maybe use soft succulent, and then it's more of a tone on tone. I do want to introduce some dark into this, but I think because I've got blending brushes versus my sponge daubers, it's going to color the whole thing. So let's color the bases with Evening Evergreen. Oh, now I remember what I was talking about. So TikTok. People can make fun of it all they want. I have found that just in the few days of being on there, people are, there's crazy people out there, right? You're always going to find someone that's got their opinion. But I found it's very supportive. Like, you've got complete strangers that are trying to help you build your business or celebrate the latest dance trend or whatever. And as someone who for 45 years has avoided dancing at all costs, I found myself dancing I don't know how many times this week. You end up with these trending songs stuck in your head, and then it's like I can't do them. But I found I think it's more than people have made it out to be. In a good way, in the best possible way. Okay, so now, almost an hour in, we can do some stamping. So I'm going to stick with polished pink for the sentiment. And the fonts in here are beautiful. You know I love a good mixed font sentiment. So let's do, instead of happy birthday, let's do thank you, which means I'm going to have to rethink the inside. But that's okay. You know what? Lots of people say that, Megan, and exactly, Roz, I hear you. I know I watched him and I almost vomited. I'm serious. Like, I don't have a super weak stomach, but that hurt just to watch. So I want to stamp my sentiment on here before I put my flower on there to know that I've got enough room. So Megan, people are calling people out on that in a nice way. All over the place. Like, you're too old to be on there. Some girl said, for all the old people on TikTok, like born in the late 1990s, and we're like, what? But people are like, no, you're never too old to be on there. There's like senior citizens. There's this one woman that I follow, and she's all about like TikTok education, like teaching you how to do transitions and how to do all these cool things. She's had a number of people say, you know what? I love that you know your stuff. Like, you're older on here, and love that you're showing people how to do all this. Okay, let's use the little things you do make such a difference. I feel like I may have ADHD, which I'm not going to lie, comes from TikTok. There is a doctor that's on there that's always talking about some of the things you might notice if you have ADHD or if you have depression or if you have this. And he is a psychiatrist. And I know we're not going to TikTok or Dr. Google for our diagnosis, but it's all kind of ringing a bell. I'm like, oh, that would make so much sense. So I hesitated for the longest time because I thought, I don't need something else. Like, I knew that it was going to be like a Pinterest where you just get sucked in. And the first 2 days I went to bed far, far later than I should have. But I am liking it. And if you stick to the people that you're following, you don't get sucked in for hours on end. Okay, I want to line this up so that I've got about the same amount on top, bottom, left, and right. So then I can press it down. And you can see that these don't rely on one another. So it doesn't have to be perfect placement. Anyways, that's enough about my TikToking. You know, some people do just that. But I guess if it makes you happy. I'm just finding I'm dancing a lot more around home. I still don't think I could ever do it in public. But the fact that I'm even willing to do it at home is a big thing. I think I'm also getting to the age where I don't care if I look silly. I don't know. Okay, so now I'm just going to build this guy up. You could certainly pop it up on dimensionals. I'm going to keep it fairly flat. So we're going to pop that in. I am going to put the larger leaf on this side because I don't want it coming too close to that thank you. And then we'll put a little bit of glue on here. So if you are on TikTok, you can come give me a follow. Hi, Carol from Connecticut. You know what, Roz? That's so funny because I've seen a couple. It's so funny that we're talking about TikTok. I know it's my fault. I'm maybe a little bit obsessed. But it is, so many people are like, you know, I do this for myself. And then my neighbor found out and they're like, oh my God, I sat and watched all your TikToks. And they're like, no. This is supposed to be for strangers on the internet, not people I know. So funny. But I also want to get to the point sooner rather than later where I can do this full time and not have to work a day job. And I figure, what can it hurt to try one more platform? I'm getting more involved on Instagram. I'm actually starting next month. If you're on Instagram, make sure you're following me if you want. I mean, no pressure, obviously. But I have started planning an Instagram hop. So I have contacted a bunch of demonstrators in different markets. I mean, I think there's 4 of us from Canada, at least 4. So there's a couple from each market. We're going to put this guy on the bottom. And once a month, around the middle of the month, I'm thinking, we are going to have a themed hop. So let's say, for example, next month is, maybe it's pansies, maybe it's flowers. You would have, and it's not going to be the same obviously it's not going to be the same theme every month, but it may not be the same people. It's going to be kind of a come as you can type thing. Like, it's not going to be like, okay, it is the 12th of the month, we need your stuff. Like, no. People will participate as it suits them. So there may be like 5 one month and 25 the next. Maybe not that many. I don't think we're at 25. But I have found some amazing demonstrators that agreed to do this with me. Like, amazing. Like, I can't believe they said yes. Can't believe they weren't like, who the hell are you? Just kidding. Most of them know me. I did have 1 or 2 that didn't respond, but you know what? I'm not for everyone. And I know that my notifications on my Facebook group my Facebook page are awful. I've had people try and contact me and I don't get any kind of notifications. So, I mean, it could be that too. Okay, so the last part, other than twine, is an opal round. Can I reach it? Can I reach it? Oh, I've got so much stuff in front of me right now. So be looking out for that. If you're on Instagram, come and give me a follow. It's so frustrating because Instagram is like, oh, I could have used a sponge dauber. It's so up and down. You gain a follower, you lose 3 followers. You gain 3, you lose 2. Like, such a game. Thank you. So Cheryl. Oh, awesome, Megan. You know what? I had downloaded it a couple weeks ago. I found someone had shared Shalina. Is it? I can't even remember her name, but her dad, who is, oh, that's not a big one. I want the biggest one. He's the real Indian dad, so he refers to himself as Trid now. Oh, he's hilarious. So she would be singing and he'd be mocking the lyrics. So I actually downloaded it just for that, and then I'm like, no, I can't do this. I'm going to get lost in this rabbit hole, and gave it another month or so. And then just the other day, I'm like, I'm going to try it again. So I did. And I love it, but I'm also not on it 20 hours a day like I was like the first 2 days. Okay, a little bit of twine. And these cards will be in the D-stash when I do it. Instagram hop. Been so crazy busy with my dad. Oh, you know what I realized that I forgot? I can do this. How cool is that? It even shows you, like it shows you the comment and it shows you what platform someone's watching on. So Cheryl asked, right over my face, what do you mean unmarked graves? So I'm going to keep this up while I answer this, because someone on the replay is going to be like, what the heck is she talking about? So if you're not aware, and I'm not going to make this like a huge long story because I don't even know all of it, to be honest, but we have Indigenous education at work every year, which is mandated, so we learn more and more every year. But was it the 19th? There's a thing called the 60s scoop, where Native, Indigenous, Aboriginal, I think Indigenous is the correct term right now. And I don't mean that disrespectfully, but it can be hard to keep up with what is the current term. I'm Métis, so I say this, hey Megan, you figured it out, I just got a thing. I am Métis myself, and I still don't know a lot about it, but in the 1960s, the government and Church of Canada came in and scooped all of these Indigenous kids and put them into residential schools, where the whole goal was to strip them of their culture. So they would shave their heads and they would put them in different clothing, and long story short, a lot of children died in residential schools. And a couple of weeks ago they found 215 bodies in an unmarked grave in Kamloops, which was just, I don't even have words. And then the other day they found another one that was 751 bodies. My daughter said they found another one in BC that was like 100 and something. Like, all of these poor children died from being sick or abused or starved to death. Like, it's just awful. They were taken from their parents, and there's actually a street here named after one of the clergy that supported residential schools, and the city is looking into a petition to get that street name changed. So it is a very awful stain on Canadian history, and things just keep coming up. So with Canada Day being tomorrow, it's hard to know, like, do we celebrate? Because, a lot of people don't feel like celebrating right now. Like, I think when we're getting dressed tomorrow, it's going to be an orange shirt, not a red and white one. So I think there are a lot of Canadians that are thinking about that. So that is that. I can remove it. Okay, so isn't that cool? Let me see, I want to show one from YouTube. Linda, are you still there? No pressure. Look at this. Isn't that so neat? Now, the other thing I need, I've got this thing called a Stream Deck, which once I get it configured would let me do that kind of stuff easy. Like, click a button, click it off, and off it goes. There's also a setting where it can go away on its own, but I haven't done that yet. Because I've been so busy playing with other stuff, like trying to get my internet to just work. Okay, so I was talking about those bumblebees. So we know the ladybug trinkets, right? They were cute, but I don't know. I guess maybe a little realistic. These ones are not. They're like so cartoony and cute. So if you have been hesitating on these ones and you like the look of it up close, Don't hesitate. I mean, they are around for a year. So, where are we going to put you? I feel like he's going to be right there. Now, the one thing... Oh my gosh, that took way too long for one card. The one thing that I didn't do on this one that I did on my original was I did some ink splatter, but I also did that before I adhered it. So, I mean, I can't do it now. But what do you think? These will be in my D-stash next week, so I think I'm going to do that next week. Next Wednesday for my Facebook Live, I will do a card D-stash, get rid of all the ones that are in there. There will be a couple of rules because I saw a TikTok. It was a live that I was watching, and I have a new ring coming, not this one, but I have a new ring coming soon. And when I get it, oh, hi, Kathy, that you kind of tuned in for a weird one. Thank you, everybody. Oh, and I just noticed Kathy's comment is a little higher up, but welcome to anyone watching for the first time. This isn't, usually I don't yap quite this much. I'm not usually wired up like this either, like physically and mentally. Where was I? Oh my gosh. Okay, ring. So there's a very cool ring that if you are a fidgeter, or you have ADHD or need some kind of fidget thing, you're going to love this thing, I think. But I was watching her on TikTok Live the other day trying to win one. I ordered one for my daughter and I ordered one for myself. She had rules for her giveaway, like you need to be kind, which should go without saying. But part of that is that when she's looking for the winner, because there is a right answer and there are a bunch of not wrong, but not the answer she's looking for. So she said when that right answer comes up on her screen, like it has to show on her screen. If you think that yours was first and you come back later or through a message or whatever and say, you know what, I was first, that's not going to work. It has to be, I saw this on my screen, so that's who's getting it. So I'll give you a little warning about that because it will be a little bit different. So I think that's it. I think I've rambled enough. Yeah, I do what? Yeah, I'm Dory. Megan, for you or for me? Probably both. Okay, so just a reminder, today is the last day to order from that January to June mini catalog. It's also the last day to get that elegant trim with me if you place a $60 order or more. I haven't had an order go in yet today, but that's not to say that I couldn't. I know I have one customer that wants a little something, but at this point it's not worth the shipping. So if you have anything that you would like to order, let me know. And that's it. We will see you next week, and hopefully there will be like an actual mic where I can move more than like a foot. But thank you for watching. If it was your first time here, I hope that you will like my page and come back, and we'll see you soon, my crafty friends. Bye. I feel like I need to wave in two